Why did the egg get sent to the principal's office? He cracked too many yolks.
You're listening to Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve on the Riotcast Network, riotcast.com.
Weird Medicine contains mature contents that may be offending to some listeners.
Let me
What did I do wrong then? Your all's house is like an oven.
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent to Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease. I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve. Take a cow for
Did you really have to do that now?
Yes.
It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio. Now a podcast, very professional, with Lady Diagnosis crackling, opening something over there. We'll find out what that is in a minute. I'm sure it's fascinating. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medical practitioner who keeps the alternative medicine wackos at bay. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And she who will do most anything for a glass of expensive wine, it's Lady Diagnosis.
Hey, Doc.
And we also have in the studio our new friend. She was known as Sweet Virginer, but that's just a horrible, horrible name. So welcome her by her new name, G-Spot. Hello, G-Spot.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
That's even better.
It's way better. And we have alternate universe Magic Mike, the one who actually is talented. Hello, Magic Mike.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
And out in the waiting room is the original Magic Mike, now known as El Crappo. Hello, Hello, El Crappo. And we all know why. Go back and listen to the show Magic Mike's Festival of Feces to know why his name is El Crappo. And in the waiting room also my wife, Tacy.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Tacy. You're delightful and lovely. This is a show for people who had never listened to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. And if you're listening to us live, the number is 754-227-3647. That's 754...
22 penis.
Or 754-Bare Nip, which is my favorite. Right, G-Spot?
Yes.
Just say yes. Or follow us at Weird Medicine, at Lady Diagnosis, and at drscottwm. Visit our website at weirdmedicine.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Or go to our merchandise store at cafepress.com/weirdmedicine, where you can get the Big Joe 5 pieces of fried bologna mug, which is very popular. And backed by popular demand, we will have the triumphant return of Big Joe on this show today. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your doctor, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, pharmacist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, yoga master, physical therapist, or whatever. All right, very good. Yeah, the intro was there's so many people in the studio, the intro ran out the intro music. So that's awesome.
Wow.
So thank you all for coming. This is our 300th show. I'm going to call it Prepare to be Disappointed Yet Again.
Keep the bar low.
That's right. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, let's call it that.
Oh, thank
Keeping
you.
the bar low. Don't forget Dr. Scott's website. You want to check it out at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net. And if you have a need to do some online shopping, go to stuff.drsteve.com. That's our Amazon page, and it has all the products we talk about, plus links that go to Amazon directly from our page. And don't forget tweakedaudio.com, offer code FLUID, F-L-U-I-D, for 33% off the best earbuds on the market for the price and the best customer service anywhere. And if you want to hear the archives of the show, including Magic Mike's Festival of Feces, which is really worth the listen, go to premium.drsteve.com for $1.99 a month. You could go in for $1.99, go download everything, and then cancel your subscription. It's basically keeping some of the more randy things that we've said out of the earshot of our employers. So anyway, one thing we need to get to before we get to our guest is Dr. Scott and I 2 shows ago did on the fly. We worked out the number needed to harm for cigarette abuse. And we found a study that showed absolute versus relative risk, because we had a caller that was really trying to justify smoking by saying, well, the risk to the individual is low, because he wanted to know what the number needed to harm was, which I love the fact that people are listening to this show and learning enough that they can now abuse statistics in their favor. And I think that's awesome.
Go Stats.
That's the first step in becoming self-aware, is learning how to abuse statistics. Well, anyway, so Dr. Scott and I calculated on the fly, we just wanted to kind of show how you do that. From that study, that the number needed to harm for tobacco was like 1 in 500, and we were shitting ourselves because we knew that couldn't be right.
Low, yeah.
But it turns out it was right for that study. It wasn't a lifetime study. It was for a X number of year period. And so for that cohort, over a small period of time, the number needed to harm was 500. So 500 people would have to smoke in that study for that time period to get cancer, compared to get an extra case of lung cancer, in other words. So somebody brought that to my attention, because I knew it wasn't right, and then of course I forget about everything as soon as we finish talking about it. But so I found a lifetime tobacco risk analysis. And again, we have to do the number needed to harm, because they just give you the relative risk. And they found, they observed people over a period of 1987 to 1989 and calculated based on Canadian rates. Okay, so it wasn't just that the cohort, they just looked at the rates of cancer according to the population over those 2 years. And they found that 172 out of 1,000 male current smokers will eventually develop lung cancer. And for those who never smoked, and I'm just doing males right now, the lifetime risk was substantially reduced at 13 out of 100,000. So you'll notice that number isn't zero. Not smoking doesn't absolutely prevent you from getting lung cancer. It just drastically reduces your risk, because and that's all this life is about, is risk mitigation. We wear seatbelts to reduce our risk of dying in a car wreck. It doesn't prevent us from dying in a car wreck, but it does reduce our risk. And, we eat well to reduce our risk of heart attack. Again, not 100% preventing. And you can see from this, these people who smoke, 172 of them got lung cancer. That means a whole bunch of people didn't. If we had a blood test that would determine whether you would get lung cancer from smoking, and it came back negative, I'd say go ahead and fucking smoke. Who cares?
Sure.
the
Other than this,
economy.
just don't, expose other people to secondhand smoke. But we don't have that. You never know if you're the one that's on the lucky streak until the lucky streak is broken. So anyway, if you do the absolute risk, that'd be 172 minus 13. Hang on a second. Let's do this. Alexa, what's 172 divided by 13?
172 divided by 13 is 13.230769238.
So there's a 13-fold increase in lung cancer in people that smoke compared to people who don't smoke, right? Mm-hmm. So that's equivalent to 1,300% increase, right? So that's the relative risk, but the absolute risk is going to be 172 minus 13 divided by 1,000, and that gives you 159 per 1,000. And that means our number needed to harm is going to be the inverse of that. And that'd be 1,000 divided by 159 would be 6.3. So that's way different than 500 that we got on the show the other day. Now this is just for lung cancer. So 6.3 people would have to smoke to get an extra dose or an extra case of lung cancer. And those are not good odds. I'm not chancing it for those odds. For women, it turns out it's 9.8, so women are less likely to get lung cancer from smoking than men are, but it's still less than 10%. So that's not a good – I would not go to Vegas and bet the house on those odds.
Well, everything causes cancer anymore, so I wonder what the number of people that have cancer out of the total population is.
Right. Well, and I don't know the answer to that. You're going to die of cancer or heart disease.
Exactly.
Or an overwhelming infection, probably because of cancer or, heart disease.
So you just got to pick your poison, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that, again.
And then hope that it doesn't happen.
I'm a glass half full sort of person. My wife will confirm that when I found out that my calcium score on my, that looks at cardiac risk was 0, which meant the likelihood I would die of a heart attack is almost nil. Of course, I said, well, that just means I'm going to die of cancer. So, because I'm a fool. But anyway, so this only looks at lifetime risk for cancer. There's other stuff that will kill you from tobacco. And this is just lung cancer. So there are other cancers that you can get, COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, a.k.a. emphysema or chronic bronchitis, strokes, heart attack, all that shit. So don't smoke. Do not use these statistics to say, well, the odds are 5 out of 6 I won't get cancer, because that's bullshit. All right? Okay, so I just wanted to go over that. Let's get to our guest because he's on limited schedule. This is Ross as Dorian. He's been writing comedy, narrative, and commercials for over 15 years. He's a former producer for Red Bull Media House and NBC. And over the past year, his documentary work has garnered over 14 million views and been honored by the Tribeca Film Festival. But that's not why he's calling today, though. Ross has the singular distinction of enduring one of the worst penile injuries in history. In his book, Broken Banana, spelled B-A-N-A-N-A-H, Life, Love, Sex Without a Penis, is available at brokenbanana.com. Ross, welcome to Weird Medicine.
Hey, thanks for having me, Doc.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being here, and thanks for waiting so long. So tell us, this, I mean, everyone's cringing in the studio just from hearing the title of your book. So tell us what happened.
Well, I was having sex in what I believe you medical professionals call doggy style.
There you go.
And as kind of me and this girl were
and what we would call
line,
the correct style.
Yeah.
That's what we would call that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And there we were kind of getting close to the finish line, and I kind of inadvertently exited the docking station for about a split second, and thinking I was still in the comfort of her home, kind of pushed back forward, and she pushed back backwards, and just missed, and pop, basically hit a pop, a little bit of blood discharged, and I kind of keeled over, and I don't know if my eyes have ever been wider in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had other cases of fractured penis, and so people say, well, how can you fracture a penis? There's no bone in there. What's really happening is you are splitting the sheath around the penis. So if the penis was perfectly elastic, it would blow up like a balloon. You just have this, as it filled up with blood, it would just blow up like a big round, like a pumpkin or something. But it's not perfectly elastic. It's elastic in one direction. So you'll get a little bit of girth, but you get a lot of length. And as you pump more and more blood in, it gets more and more rigid because it's only partially elastic, this sheath around it. And we'll see fractured penises, particularly when the woman is on top and has control, and the man is not fully, erect with an erection that a cat couldn't scratch. When they're semi-erect, maybe they've been drinking or they've just finished or whatever, and the woman thrusts down and bends the penis in half. And you'll get a split where that, because it's only, as I said, only partially elastic, it'll only bend so far. So Ross had a similar situation where he's thrusting forward, she's thrusting backward, and his penis bent basically in half and caused a fracture. So tell us what happened after that. Did you have excruciating pain that resulted in you going to the emergency room, or was that a later problem?
Yeah, I think the man instinct in me took over, and I immediately knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And I flipped on the lights, and I called 911, and I thought I was going to faint. And I looked her dead in the eye. I said, "I'm calling 911. I think I broke my penis. I might pass out. Here's what you need to know." And then kind of sat down and stared and thought about my life for quite a while.
Oh, my goodness. So you go to the emergency room and tell us what I'm assuming they called in a urologist. Tell us that part of the story.
Yeah, so the first guy they brought in, well, the big issue was I couldn't pee, and that was the big red flag for them. So I was kind of just keeled over with a very inflated eggplant between my legs with a red can, and everyone's kind of looking at me, and I'm like, I can't go. And I kind of had the need to go, and that's when they started trying to do tests on me. They did a cystoscopy, I believe.
Cystoscopy.
And, what they thought would, cystoscopy. And what I thought would be a 30-second procedure ended up being about 2.5 minutes of a camera inside my penis. And that was when they still were like, well, we're still not sure until we open you up.
Oh, my God.
Then we're going to figure out what the real problem is. So I actually went under not knowing the full extent of the break.
Wow. So they were. So this was not your run-of-the-mill fractured penis where you get a little split in the tunica on the outside. This was something more serious. So when they looked in there, what did they see? Did they tell you? Or they didn't tell you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they told me afterwards.
Okay. We'll go. Yeah. So you wake up,
and then I came back to. And what I had done was I had two tears, and I had severed my urethra. So that was why I couldn't pee. Yeah. And only in New York was I a couple blocks away. So I had the urologist that was operating on me, and he had to call in a urethra reconstruction specialist who just so happened to be down the street, who then he sent a picture, obviously of me, to canceled everything and came back in. And I mean, the magic hands put me back together.
That's the beauty of living in the city that never sleeps. There's a urethral reconstruction specialist.
A block away.
Right?
Wow.
So that's a microsurgery. The urethra is mucous membrane surrounded by some muscular tissue and some sheaths and nerves and arteries, and that's incredible. So did they actually have to fillet open your penis? Tell us how they did the the repair.
They did a circular incision, so I kind of have a Frankenstein scar and peeled the skin up and down.
Damn.
Not like down the middle and open.
Okay.
It was not a space shuttle.
Right. Holy moly. So what were so afterward, tell us how things went with this.
So the doc basically looked at me and said, you had the best outcome for the worst possible scenario. Explained that they had the surgeons come in and that they felt pretty good about it. The worries were initially, so I had a catheter in, and their worries were basically loss of sensitivity, like unable to hold an erection, and then Peyronie. They were worried about Peyronie's and curvature from the scar tissue. And so I went in. I had 2 weeks with the catheter. Went in to see the urethra reconstruction specialist, to which I was a celebrity in the office. They were like, "Oh, Ross." I was like, "Do you guys know me?"
Hey, it's that guy with the dick.
They pulled the cath. Yeah, well, they knew me because they had to cancel everything, and also I was the only patient under like 60 years old that was in the office.
Wow.
And so they pull the catheter out, and they inserted dye, or they had already filled up my bladder, so that when they shot the X-rays of this dyed fluid coming out of my urethra, they'd see if there was any leaks. And with, of course, my luck, they do the shots. The doctor looks at the screen. He looks at me, and he just goes, And I'm like, it's not healed, is it? He's like, no, we have to do another 2 weeks. So they had to put the catheter back in. And, of course, this time I'm fully conscious. So that was interesting. And I had another 2 weeks. And during that time was when I started getting basically like my first erection. I woke up in the middle of the night with
dude,
excruciating pain.
You got a rod with a catheter in?
Yeah, I sure did.
That's unbelievable.
So I had this coming to Jesus moment where I was both very excited to be having an erection and also terrified because there was this like tube choking my penis that was trying to Hulk.
Of course. Oh, that's horrible. So they have the catheter in basically to keep the urethra. It's almost like a Lee press-on nail if you've got a broken nail, so that it keeps the shape correct. And,
right.
And keep everything patent in there so that you're not clotting off your urethra as protein and platelets and fibroblasts from the healing urethra invade. So they've got to have a tube to keep things flowing in there until it completely heals up. So another 2 weeks of that, and then what?
Another 2 weeks of that, and then they took the catheter out, did the same tests again, which, as a sicko, I have these videos of them injecting numbing gel into my penis and being like, what is this life?
Which does nothing.
Luckily, that time, everything was healed.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was like a numbing gel for when they had taken the catheter out, and they put a numbing gel in so that they could inject more fluid, so I wasn't completely full. So I was trying to pee, but I couldn't. And, of course, I hadn't been using my bladder for a month. So I'm basically spasming out urine.
Oh, God.
And at that point, I had healed. So he goes, okay, well, they had already filled me up with all this other fluids. He goes, okay, well, you can go to the bathroom like normal. And I'm telling you, it was the weirdest experience of my life. Like staring at your penis being like, okay, this is where you pee. And just spasming piss everywhere. Like I couldn't control it. Yeah. And so I went back and said, it's totally normal. You're going to have to kind of get used to. You haven't been using this muscle. So I get back home, and because I had been getting erections, he's like, listen, you should not basically masturbate. You should stay clear. You've got another probably 2 months. And so what he wanted me to do.
Masturbation had to be the last thing on your mind at this point.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't need to tell me that.
So what he was having.
I don't want anything to do with this penis. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey man, it's a mind of its own.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so then he would have me do exercises, quote unquote, where he just wanted me to hold an erection for 20 minutes a day, which also is very weird to do, and just stare at it. And then the scar, I had
what's weird about that?
Yeah,
the staring.
That's what I do.
So
I just
pretty.
get an erection and stare at it for 20 minutes.
Love
20
my
minutes.
penis. 20 minutes.
Bravo.
It was an exercise in self-control. Self-control.
All right. Okay, sorry, Ross.
So, no. We have to always have at least 10 seconds for any inserted jokes.
No, well,
with it.
this is just making us all very uncomfortable. So we have to use humor to keep from crying. But anyway,
that's when you know it's bad, is when a doctor looks at you and goes, "Oof."
yeah,
That was what happened when
that is true.
When the paramedics came. They come up the stairs, these two big Jersey bros. And I'm sitting there on my futon, and they come up and they look at me and they look down and they just let out a sigh. I was like, y'all see some stuff. So for you to look at this, I know I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Wow.
So do you ever want to have sex again?
I make the sweetest, most gentle love now to only stuffed animals. That's it. Strictly
Oh, you're one of those.
oversized teddy bears.
So,
Wow.
okay. So they tell you don't masturbate. Let's get to the end of the story here. Obviously,
Sure.
you're able to make
eventually.
sweet, sweet love, which is
Yeah.
a miracle given what happened.
Yes.
So tell us
Absolute miracle.
Tell us how it all ended up, and where are we now?
So I wouldn't be telling you the story if it didn't have a happy ending, asterisk. But the first time basically was, I mean, I honestly feel like, I'm one of few people who has had 2 penises in their life, and also I felt like I lost my virginity again.
Yeah.
Because the sensation after literally having an erection, staring at it, doing nothing, going next day, like it was it was a true explosion. And this poor girl, I mean, she was a trooper, and she knew, and it was someone that had been intimate with before. So it was almost like a therapeutic. I was like, yo, listen, here's the deal. Let's just let's light some candles. Let's have some nice red wine, and let's take it nice and slow.
Ooh.
But everything worked. The systems were go. I had, so, you know, the big fear, especially when I was starting, was that tissue was stretching. I basically had some pain kind of where the scar tissue was.
Sure.
And that took about a year to go away. And that discomfort continued. So, but I mean, again, my surgeons were incredible. And for all of the stuff that, of course, you WebMD and you search and you're like, oh my gosh, my penis is going to look like a candy cane. Like, you know, all the things that could go wrong didn't. Like, there was a little change in curvature.
Yeah.
Like, but given the scenario, dude, incredible. So when I tell you that every time I go to the bathroom and every time I just look down and I'm watching football, my hands in my pants, I'm like, thank you.
It's a blessing. That's amazing.
Happy for life's little pleasures is what it is.
So let's talk a little bit about Peyronie's disease. We'll take this opportunity.
Sure.
That's a curvature of the penis caused by scarring on one side of that sheath. So scar tissue is not elastic, and it won't stretch like the beautifully made tunic that's around the inner lining of the penis. And when you get scar tissue there, the other side will stretch, but that side won't, and so it'll stretch on the side pointing toward the
scar.
The scar,
right.
Exactly right. And so what happened with Ross is it sounds like they did a circumferential incision, and so the scar tissue is circumferential, so there shouldn't be any curvature or very little curvature. So that's awesome.
Maybe some ribs where they peeled the skin back, but not a
right. Yeah. You might be
lucky.
You're kind of ribbed for her pleasure at this point, right?
Since the
That's
scars,
always a plus.
Yeah, since the scars
If only it smelled like strawberries.
That's my pickup line.
Well, I was going to say, if it looked like a candy cane, that'd be one thing. But if it tasted like one, there you go.
Now you're talking.
Now we're talking.
So Ross wrote a book, and it's called Broken Banana: Life, Love. Why is it spelled weird? Because
it's kind of it's a hat tip to the story in the book. There's, my life is kind of, I'm the guy that all the bad things happen to.
Yeah.
And so the story is about kind of the journey through medical trauma. And there's just a lot of comedy in it in general, just being through hospital. And there's a bit of a love story like any other story. And it's a reference to basically how this girl who I had been back and forth with, we had this conversation where we're trying to come to terms with what had happened, and the girl who I had slept with that was the perpetrator was not the same girl that I had been kind of in love with, and vice versa.
That'll change you.
So we're having this very, very kind of come to Jesus talk, and she has an accent, and the way that she describes it made the word come out like a broken banana.
Okay.
So that was kind of the way that we always talked about it.
Because your website violates the Greg Opie Hughes rule of websites and Twitter handles is that people are going to spell it wrong. So did you also buy Broken Banana with an A.com and then link it to this one? Because I'm just worried that people are going to go to the wrong website. And God knows what Broken Banana with an A is.
I don't even want to know what the other one does. That redirect is
Scott, look at that.
That's why I always put the H as a capital at the end of banana. But no, I didn't get that domain.
Scott's going to look it up right now
maybe
and
if that
see.
domain was available, it would have changed the entire scope of the book.
Well, when Dick's Sporting Goods came out, if you went to dicks.com, it wasn't what you were hoping for.
Or it was.
Unless it was, right, exactly right, yes. But they've since bought dicks.com, but I don't know what that must have cost them to do that. What did you find at
brokenbanana.com? They were waiting for that phone call.
Yeah, no shit.
Actually, just pictures of broken bananas.
It is? Oh, so it really is something. You might be able to pick
like
that
real
one up.
bananas.
We got some broken banana cream pie too.
It's a throwaway website. You might be able to pick it up.
Oh,
but anyway.
yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
so check it out, brokenbanana with an
Banana
H.com. And the book is Broken Banana, Life, Love, Sex Without a Penis. But it's not really without a penis because you have a very functioning penis. As a matter of fact, that story about your first sex after you had the repair almost kind of makes it sound worth the whole thing. As a matter of fact, Tacey, could you break my penis tonight? And then, because that sounded awesome.
Or at least try.
Yeah.
I'll send you a mousetrap to make it a little easier.
Okay. You got anything else to plug, Ross? I know you're all over the place.
No, man, that would be the big one. You know, it's doing the book has been a departure from the film world, but super rewarding. And you know, having been in comedy, doing like a self-publish, it's been a journey.
Yeah.
And you know, you go, hey, like you should go to a publisher, and I'm like, let me tell you what a conversation with a publisher with a book about my penis sounds like.
Right.
Like it's a really short conversation.
No, if you were Jerry Seinfeld,
it's,
you could do that.
Yeah, so maybe if I do this again in 10 years, maybe the sequel will be a little better.
Right.
But no, man, it's been great, and I've had a lot of support. I did a Kickstarter, and you know, sent the book around to people, and again, it's just like we're at a time where it's good to laugh, and a penis is not partisan, so it's easy to
sure.
Like, hey, look, like,
that's
we can
true.
laugh. Like we need this, so it's.
Anyone
really
can laugh at a broken penis. You're absolutely right. Whether you're a liberal or conservative or a libertarian, as I am, it's still hilarious.
Yeah, so it's good.
No,
thank you, man.
I'm glad it's got a happy ending, man. That's awesome, and I hope we'll meet someday.
Yeah.
And everybody, go check this book out, brokenbanana.com. And
I'll check it out.
Ross,
Are there pictures?
Tweet that shit to me too, Ross, and I'll retweet it. I mean, what the hell? You never know.
I will.
Okay.
100%.
It's so great having you on, man. I'm again glad you had a happy ending. Anybody else have a question for Ross? Tacey?
I'm good.
Tacey wants to know how
can you break it?
Right. More tips on how to break a penis. That's what my wife wants to know anyway. All right, man.
Well, just make sure that you got him really hard. That's the key.
Okay.
Zero elasticity.
That she can do. All right. Take care, man. All right. Be good.
All right. Cheers,
Thanks,
man.
Ross. All right. Golly, can you imagine?
I about threw up, yeah.
Did you really?
Oh, that was gross.
Don't you wish GVAC had been here? This was made for GVAC.
Yes. Oh, he'd have been all over that.
But it's not many times you hear of a compound fracture of the penis. I mean, we hear and see them breaking,
right?
But actually, to see some blood,
right?
Hellfire.
So, Tacey, we're gonna take some phone calls from our audience, and then we're gonna get your mother in here for Big Joe, whatever it is. Okay, we're gonna take some phone calls real quick. Let's see who's been waiting the longest. Area code 917 has been waiting 51 minutes.
Holy
oh
cow.
God, I'm so sorry. Here we go. Area code 917. You're on Weird
Very
Medicine.
patient.
Hello.
Hi, how's it been, Dr. Steve?
Hey, good.
Longtime fan.
Hey,
Started
thanks.
listening back in high school, and now I'm a first-year med student. So
Awesome.
quite a
Well,
journey.
awesome. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Just had a question about. Sorry, I'm laughing from the laughter. I'm talking over the applause. I know you guys have spoken in the past about ketogenic diets.
Yep.
So I managed to lose a significant amount of weight on a keto diet over the past couple of years. It's been sustainable long term and was relatively easy.
Yep.
But I'm curious, I'm young and healthy, normal renal function, liver, everything is great.
Yep.
Is this something that's generally applicable? Because, we have a monumental problem with metabolic syndrome in the country. I'm curious why more people haven't taken this to heart, more clinicians aren't applying this.
And I'll tell you why. It's because of the USDA and what they did to us as a society when they said we should be getting the majority of our calories from grains. And
right.
The reason that they did that wasn't for health reasons. It was political reasons. We needed to sell more American grain. And so they made this pyramid and this big giant block at the bottom with grain. And all these nutritionists, dietitians, nutrition science people grew up with that. It's very hard to get that kind of dogma out of your head that the vast majority of our diet should come from carbohydrates.
Dr. Steve, what's a ketogenic diet?
Oh, thank you, Lady Diagnosis. So ketogenic diet is like the most famous one would be the Atkins diet. We're talking about low-carb diets, where you and the reason they're called ketogenic is because when you run out of carbohydrate stores, which in our bodies we store them as a polysaccharide called glycogen. When you run out of glycogen, which is what happens to you when you're running a marathon and you hit the wall, that's one of the things that happens, then you have to burn fat. You have nothing else to burn except muscle, and you don't want to burn protein, so that's why there's plenty of protein in the ketogenic diet. And so that spares your protein. The only thing that you can burn is fat, and when you burn fat, you produce these things called ketone bodies that are detectable on the breath and in the urine. So, I have cured, I didn't do it, they did it. People have cured themselves of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome by going on a ketogenic diet. And there's a lot of dogma and there's a lot of resistance to this because of what people think a ketogenic diet is, because they see these people going, well, all I eat is steak and bacon. That's all I eat. And that is a ketogenic diet, but that's not appropriate ketogenic diet. And you will lose weight on that because you're becoming malnourished. But and so many people heard about Atkins from their cousin who heard it from their brother. And you know what happens when you have the telephone effect? They get it wrong. And so it was just so many dietitians saw that, were horrified that people were just eating bacon and steak. But a true properly executed ketogenic diet would include lean animal protein, healthy fats, and green leafy vegetables. That's the majority of it. And the
so it's misinformation then.
There's a lot of misinformation out there, and now new data is coming across that is positive for showing positive results for low carb diets on a lot of different fronts: weight loss, improving metabolic syndrome, improving diabetes and glucose intolerance. So I think as you progress through medical school, you're going to see more and more people accepting this, but it's going to take another generation. We got to get a whole generation of dietitians to, retire before we're going to get people who are more forward thinking. I think that's my opinion. Right. I might get a bunch of dietitians calling saying I'm full of shit, and I hope I am. But what do you think? When in your school? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm sort of just to as a sort of a follow-up question. Then we're often told it's like a buzzword, complex carbohydrates, but I'm confuse them because with our curriculum, you take biochemistry, complex carbs are cleaved, hydrolyzed pretty rapidly to glucose, and you can use other sugars. You can use lactose and other agents that will become glucose in the body. The body is pretty straightforward. If it can make it into glucose, it will.
Right.
So. Is there really, I basically know more than 30 grams of carbohydrates a day. But they advocate this to people like it makes a difference, in their glucose levels and ultimately fat accumulation. Are complex carbs just simple carbs plus, the time needed to break them down?
Yeah, my opinion on this, and I can't back this up with excellent science, but my opinion is that complex carbs, reduce insulin peaks because you're reducing the amount of glucose that's being dumped into the system quickly. So complex carbs, Lady Diagnosis, would be like whole grain bread or yams and stuff like that aren't so readily converted into glucose. So no, there's the same amount of carbohydrates in them, minus the fiber, but you don't get those huge peaks of insulin. That's the problem with diabetes, is you get these huge peaks of insulin that overshoot. And as you overshoot, the blood sugar now starts to drop, and the body doesn't like a state of low blood sugar. So after time of overshooting with these peaks, the body will turn down its sensitivity to the signal that is insulin. And when it turns it down altogether, then that's when you have diabetes. And the hypothesis is that complex carbs will either slow that down or prevent that altogether. So there is a sugar busters diet where people eat brown bread, brown pasta, and yellow or sweet
Like
potatoes.
sweet potatoes.
And no white bread, no white pasta, no white potatoes. And some people have had some success with that. That's sort of an intermediate step between going that and going full low carb. But low carb's got to be done properly. And I would be horrified by some of the things that people are eating as well.
So
I
you can't
understand
just
that.
minimize carbs. You have to cut them out completely, or
Well,
will
no.
that
You're
make a difference?
minimizing. I mean, it's even peanuts have carbs in them. Tacey and I are going back on a more strict low carb diet starting on Monday, and we picked up some peanuts, and even those have carbs in them because they got a little bit of sugar in them.
Right.
or sugars. So, but yeah, I mean, Atkins, I think his thing was 25 grams was where he would start people in there and then work them kind of back and getting a little bit more carbohydrates as time goes on. I'm not advising anybody to do any sort of diet, but I do think that the ketogenic diet is frowned upon in medical circles for not a very good reason. Okay, so thank you for your call, and we had to dump out on his call because we're having some technical problems, but we're back. Let's take area code 603. You're on Weird Medicine. I think you are. There you are. You're on Weird Medicine. What's up? Hello? Oh, here we go. Oh, there you go. Yep, you're on. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, for fuck's
Hello?
sake. Yeah, you're on. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you.
Okay, what's your question? You picked the wrong day for
So I have a
this.
question about the flu.
Go
I have
ahead.
a question about the flu.
Yes, tell us.
So I tweeted you on Wednesday about the flu,
Okay.
and my family got the flu shot, but the one person we all got the flu, but one person that didn't get the flu shot.
Well, yeah, I know. I hear it. And so the implication is that you shouldn't get the flu shot, right? Because
Right.
yeah, exactly. No, I get it, and I understand that.
That's science.
When you have okay, so here's how it works. It's a magic of large numbers. So you have so let's say someone gets their flu shot, was going to get the flu on Wednesday. They got exposed on Sunday, and they're going to get their flu shot on Wednesday. So on Wednesday they get their flu shot. On Thursday they get the influenza. There's no way in hell you're ever going to tell that person that the flu shot didn't cause them to have influenza. So the flu shot isn't perfect. It definitely helps to keep, even if you get the influenza when you have the flu shot, you're less likely to die from it or end up in the hospital. This year's is particularly shitty. But it's still somewhat effective. Even if it's 10% effective, if you're preventing 10% of people from going into the hospital or dying, AKA our friend Richard, who ended up, in the hospital on the ventilator, who is now a huge proponent of flu shots. Or our friend Barry the Blade, who died of swine flu and who didn't have a flu vaccine. So I hear what you're saying. It isn't perfect. I still highly recommend it because it does prevent death and prevents people from going into the hospital. So yeah, it's just a crazy, you guys have the perfect statistical fluke to say the flu shot's bullshit. Go ahead, Taze.
I did read an article yesterday. Can't remember where it's from, so this isn't very useful. But it did say it wasn't very effective towards adults this year, but it was far more effective towards children.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's interesting is usually it's the very old and the very young that die from the flu. But remember when we had the swine flu epidemic recently? The old were actually protected against it because they've been exposed to it before in the 70s.
Right.
So the elderly were actually, less likely to die from it than the people who had never been exposed to it, which were people in their 20s and 30s. So
We also have a window Some people are going in and they're testing negative, and then within 2 days they have full blown flu.
Yeah.
So this year there's
really?
been a big difference of trying to test at the right time.
Yeah, it is hard.
The swab tests are not working as well this year.
Well, and they're never perfect either.
Right.
But most flu-like illnesses, people who have flu-like illness actually don't have influenza, because there are other things that can cause headache and fever and runny nose and cough during flu season, and a lot of them aren't influenza. So all those people in your family that got the flu, were they tested positive for actual influenza?
No.
There you go.
The people that got it, my dad got it, which is 33. My dad's girlfriend got it. My dad's girlfriend's daughter got it, which is 10, and then the person that didn't get it was 6.
Yeah.
And she was the only one that didn't get the flu shot, and she's fine.
Right. And the other people may, if they didn't get tested, they may have had a flu-like illness that wasn't influenza too. So they may have still been spared from the influenza. Influenza can be a killer. Most of the flu-like illnesses that are out there won't kill you. So, but anyway, I still think it's good that they all got their flu shot.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those like lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly, which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
All right,
so
man.
You would recommend getting it next year?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I'm never not going to recommend it. As a matter of fact, they're working on a universal flu vaccine that is going to be a one and done, sort of like polio. When we have that, we won't have to worry about influenza anymore. Just remember, in 1918, the influenza pandemic killed 1% of the Earth's population. Only 10% of people got it. But of those, 10% of those died. So that's 10% of 10% is going to be 1%. Just imagine 1% of the Earth's population. How many people have we got? 7 billion now? Alexa, what's 1% of 7 billion?
1% of 7 billion is 70 million.
70 million people dead. Just imagine that. So we're trying to prevent that.
But there's no drawbacks to getting the flu vaccine.
No, you can't get sick from the flu vaccine if you're allergic to the components of the flu vaccine.
Eggs, is that right?
Yeah, eggs is the big one because it's incubated on eggs. There's always downsides. There have been people who've gotten Guillain-Barré syndrome from having the influenza vaccine. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, and particularly if you die from it, it's tragic. But the risk of that is far outweighed by the benefit of the flu shot, even when we have a shitty flu shot. Mm-hmm. There's risks to wearing your seatbelt. Mm-hmm. There is a 1 in a million chance that if you wear your seatbelt and get in a wreck, you could die in a fiery ball because you can't get out.
Or drown.
Right, but there's exactly. No, she's exactly right.
That scares me to death.
Yeah, it does me.
But
give yourself a bill.
We're scared of that, but we should be absolutely terrified of not wearing our seatbelt because you have a 1 in 2 chance of dying in a bad wreck if you don't wear it. So the benefit of wearing it far outweighs the risk of wearing it. It's the same thing with vaccines. All right?
Oh, yep. Thank you.
Hey, I hope everybody's well. Give them our best, and I'd still
Yeah.
get a flu shot next year.
Get a flu shot.
Get a flu shot.
Okay. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Okay, man. See ya. Uh-oh. We have, oh my goodness, 42 minutes from Saudi Arabia. You're on Weird Medicine. Oh, no.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
Hello, man. You've been on كيف حالك?
الحمد لله كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله. هي الأرض في عين أم غزال. I'm just
He probably doesn't know what you're saying.
He's there trying to.
I know we have no clue.
We are clueless.
الولد ولد وله حكم بلد.
That means, what's your problem?
Yeah, I think, have you been learning from your colleagues at the hospital?
Yes, of course. I'm just throwing out the few sentences I know. The first one I said is, only it's like a face only a mother could love. It's what is it? El Ered Fiain Omo Gazal. It's like a monkey looks like a gazelle to its mother or something
The
like
literal
that.
translation, a monkey is a deer in his mother's eyes.
There you go. Okay, I got it. Right. I say that to Dr. Scott all the time.
Adorbs.
So you've been on hold this long? God, I can't imagine how much that cost. Are you calling in on Skype or what's going on, man?
Yeah, it's a couple bucks on Skype,
Okay, I'm sorry.
so it wasn't that big a deal. Yeah.
Okay, good. So what's up? How's medical school going?
Very good. I'm in my fourth year. I have one more year until I graduate.
Mumtaz.
And the last time I called, that was in the prep year. Yeah, so 4 years ago, I think.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You got to get one of these. Here you go. So is it everything you thought it
Thank
would
you.
be?
It was even better than I thought.
Oh, good.
Actually.
Good. Now, are there any? I don't know how to ask this question. Are there any things in Saudi that you can't or is there any political impact or political component to the teaching of medicine in Saudi Arabia, say compared to the United States? Because there is political stuff here, no question about it.
In what ways do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a different society, so I know that recently.
Yeah, well, as far as examining women, for example,
there you go.
it's not really. I mean, in some societies, in some parts of the country, it might be frowned down upon. But right where I am, in a big city, in the capital, it's not that big a deal. I mean, I have examined women before, and I've had female colleagues examine men, and it's not that much of a problem. But otherwise, really, I can't think of any differences between the American system and the Saudi system.
How does a woman get a pap smear in the rural areas of?
I have no idea really, but I think in some cases they get transferred, and in some unfortunate cases they don't, and they end up having bigger problems because they leave these checkups, and they don't do them, and so they develop bad complications sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem here too. We have one of the political things that we deal with is the Gardasil vaccine, which is a vaccine against cervical cancer, but it's really a vaccine against a sexually transmitted disease, HPV, or human papillomavirus. And people in this country won't get their kids vaccinated because they think we're encouraging them to have intercourse. But what we're trying to do is catch them before they're having intercourse so that they won't be already exposed to the virus. And that's very difficult. I just wonder if you have those same issues there. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I haven't had all that much of an exposure to the the everyday practice.
Right, public health
But
stuff.
so far, yeah.
Well, are you ever going to make it to the States?
I really hope so.
Yeah, man. You got to come see us.
Trying to apply for residency in the United States.
Oh, Mumtaz. Yeah, let me write you a letter of recommendation. Never hurts to have the editor-in-chief of a national medical journal write you a letter of recommendation.
Nice.
Just just email me on the. Yeah, I can tell he's thrilled about that. Just email me on the side, and I'll be happy to do that
I'm
for
excited.
you.
I'm excited too.
Ooh,
All
Dr.
right,
Steve.
Now, we're very proud of you and your progress, and I hope that we'll see you in the United States at some point. And in this studio, we'll have you in when we don't have a 3-second delay on our conversation that kind of hinders conversation. But it's awesome that you're still out there, man.
Well, thank you so much. I hope so as well. And I have one question for you.
Yeah.
When did you decide which practice or which specialty you're gonna go into?
Oh, well, at the very last minute. I was going to do therapeutic radiology, and at the last minute I changed to family medicine. And then I did family medicine for, 13, 14 years before I decided to pursue palliative medicine as a full-time career. So it's a little easier for family medicine to do palliative medicine later than it is, say, for an internal medicine person to just all of a sudden decide I'm going to do cardiology 20 years later. So, but yeah, you know, what you want to do is you want to do something that you're called to do. I felt I was called to do palliative medicine, and I felt I was called to do family medicine when it happened because my mother was dying and my brother was a family medicine provider. I saw the care that he gave to people, and just something all of a sudden will just hit you and you'll do it. And if that doesn't happen to you, if the lightning doesn't strike, then do something that you can at least have fun with. You know, I think the ones that have the most fun are dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and what's the third one? Oh yeah, thank you, ophthalmologists. That's exactly what I was thinking. So ophthalmologists, they get to play with all the cool toys and stuff. But you want to be passionate about it because you want to love your job. And what you don't want to do is do something you're just going to go, oh God, I'm just doing this for the money. This sucks. Because you will burn out really fast that way.
All right, cool. And one last question. Initially, you said interested in therapeutic radiology.
Yes.
I'm currently interested in interventional radiology.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think? Especially, I think back then it was in its infancy, I guess.
That is an awesome field, yes. First, you got to do a radiology residency, and those are not easy, but you're a very smart person, so you can get through it. And then most of those will do an extra year to do interventional. That may be the most fun of all of them if you like doing stuff, because they just get to stick tubes in people and wiggle things around, and they have awesome toys too, just like the ophthalmologists do. So that's a good one. Absolutely, I would highly recommend that.
Nice.
Okay, man.
Well, thank you so much, and I just wanted to congratulate you on the 300th episode.
Hey, thank you, my friend. And Shufaq Siddiqui. That sounds horrible in English. But...
Shukran.
Okay, shukran. Okay, baraka Allahu fiq.
Shukran. Ma salama.
Okay, man.
Shaka
All
Khan?
right.
Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
See you, man.
Let me rock you.
Shaka Khan.
All right, one more, and then we're gonna do the Big Joe game. Get some levity in here. Tacey's saying we need to move on. Area code 717. You're on Weird Medicine.
Congratulations, 300 shows.
Hey, thanks, man. Is that Fritz?
Yeah, it almost sounds like you just did like 100 shows, maybe.
I know, it's crazy. I know, right? Because we still suck, right? I get it.
Yeah. No, you guys.
I get it.
I do have a quick question for you.
All right. Yeah. What you got, man?
Yeah. So I quit nicotine. I only drank alcohol in moderation, and now I want to get off my fat ass, and I'm starting to work out. My question is, since I'm 40 plus, what could I take to kind of buffer my joints, because I feel like they're kind of creaking, and the second part of that is there anything homeopathic that I can take to boost my metabolism?
Okay. Not a big fan of homeopathy, because that's basically what they do in homeopathy is they do serial dilutions of things. Like they'll find a drug that causes fever, and then they'll put it in water and they'll dilute it out 64 times, which doesn't sound like that much, but when you're dividing something by half 64 times, there's no molecules left, and so it's just basically water. And then they'll give it to you to prevent fever. It's some kind of prevents thing where they imprint on the water, and I don't buy that one, and I think the data bears me out on that. But there are some things. Dr. Scott can talk to you a little bit about some things that might help support joint health. The main thing I'm going to just tell you right now, if you're going to start exercising at 40, is make sure you're stretching appropriately. Yoga is never a bad thing, but stretching, people will say, well, I don't really need to stretch. Yes, you fucking do, because I tore my whole gastrocnemius muscle, which is a big muscle in your calf, because I didn't stretch appropriately before I started running. So, Scott, why don't you take this one?
No, I agree 100%. I think spend as much time stretching as you do doing everything else. Because if you don't have good long muscles, you can't have joints that move freely. Number one. Number two, if you can find a food that causes inflammation, for me it's shrimp. For me it was chicken. Anything that causes anything that and it can be anything. People. It can be anything. Find out if anything's affecting your joints before you start trying to add a bunch of stuff in. Take this shit out first. But as far as supplements for joints, I think we've seen a little bit of good research on glucosamine. You know, some
by itself.
Yeah, by itself, not with a chondroitin in it. The hyaluronic acid. You know, some of the joint guys like that. You can take it orally or have it injected.
I can't imagine hyaluronic acid taking it orally would work very well.
I wouldn't.
It's a great treatment for people who have truly creaky joints.
Yeah.
But they inject it straight in.
Yeah, I agree, and I think so. I think if you've got a healthy diet and healthy joint, you just got to go slow. You're going to have aches and pains at 40 years old. Just don't overdo it. Don't
start low and go slow. I agree with Scott.
And
100%.
don't go to a
give yourself a feel.
A gym where you've got somebody pushing you to push it and work harder and work through it. You know, go at your own pace.
Yeah.
And don't get hurt. You know, and as far as metabolism and stuff, I'm not a huge homeopathic fan either. For those things, of course, in Chinese medicine we use a lot of the herbal roots, the ginsengs and the gingers and the astragalus and things like that.
But you do them in therapeutic doses.
Right.
You don't do them in homeopathic doses.
No, these are. Well, I think we all just took our doses of our fatigue reprieve about 30 minutes ago. So
yeah, there you
we're
go.
all in pretty good shape
what
now.
Lady Diagnosis was opening up during the opening. Let's move Magic Mike out. We're going to get Big Joe and Liam in here.
So
and
congratulations there, Fritz. Thanks for calling, man.
Good luck.
Yep. Good luck, Fritz.
Low and slow.
Bye-bye.
Lots of stretching.
Thanks,
yin
old
yoga.
buddy.
Yin yoga.
His real name is Chris. He's son of Fritz, but we call him Fritz. All right. Very good. Well, let's get Big Joe and Liam in here. We're going to do the Big Joe. It's the Game Show 200 podcasts in the making by audience demand. Let's play Are You Smarter Than Big Joe? And the answer may surprise you. Our contestant today is Big Joe's grandson, Liam. Hello, Liam. The way this will work, I'll ask a question. You'll both write down the answer, so they need paper and pens.
Oh.
And then we'll reveal the answers. Liam will go first because you're playing against your grandmother. If you have more points at the end of the round, you're smarter than Big Joe. Then we'll talk about what your prize is, okay?
I know what your prize is.
No, they need blank sheets of paper. Liam, you need a blank. You're a genius.
Then we got it, yeah.
Okay, and Diane, if you can swing your mic over, then you're going to keep.
Here, she can have mine.
Oh yeah, give her yours.
So mine. Please don't mind. It's not going to reach very far.
Mine can turn if you'll put this down.
That's okay. Okay, she's got to be able to get. Is that as far as it'll go?
Well, that's the string is.
There you go. Beautiful. Thank you, Scott. Okay, now you got to talk into that thing, Joe.
I really want to be here.
There you go.
know that,
I
don't
know.
you?
All right, very good.
Especially against
So
my
let's
grandson.
let's meet our contestants. Liam, get off the fucking phone, brah. Get off the phone, brah. All right, do you have a pen, Liam?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let me get your mic on. Okay. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, very good. So, Liam, you are 14, is that correct?
Yeah.
And you are in what grade in school?
9th.
And tell us about your teachers.
I don't want to talk about my teachers.
You don't?
No.
You think they might be listening?
No, no, but just,
Okay,
you
that's
know,
fine.
just in case they are.
Just
I
in
wanna
case
say
they are.
it,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. All right, and
They're all great, aren't they, honey?
Big Joe, people literally have been clamoring for this, for your return to the airways. So what's been going on with you?
Shingles,
Shingles.
flu, and then the shingles.
So you had the flu and then the shingles. Tell us about that.
Well, it was actually hell.
Well,
I started hurting real bad, so I went and had a steroid shot, and it didn't help. So I couldn't get a hold of my family practice doctor, so I went to my rheumatologist.
Yeah.
And when she pulled up my shirt to give me another steroid, I had the shingles.
oh my goodness. So yeah, shingles.
And Steve wanted me to come and see you, Scott. And if you'd stuck those needles in me and with the shingles, I believe I would have knocked you for a while.
No, so I'm a dumbass. Okay.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
No, it would have.
How would it helped?
Hell yeah, it would have helped.
Absolutely. Every day.
So so let's talk about shingles for a second. It's the varicella virus, or AKA the chickenpox virus, and it lives in your body. That's been in your body ever since you were a kid and had chickenpox, and now it's come out for one last hurrah. You hope it's one last hurrah.
I hope so.
One thing people don't know about Big Joe is she's on a biological called Humira for rheumatoid arthritis, and that decreases her immune system to an extent that she may be more susceptible to infections like this.
Matter of fact, we found out yesterday that's one of the side effects of the new drug trial I'm on. Is shingles.
And they put you on
It doesn't have a name yet.
Valtrex. No,
Yeah.
I mean, they put you on.
Oh, for the shingles.
So, everybody at the pharmacy was like, well, Joanne's got herpes, because that is also used for herpes. So,
Well, I don't care as long as it gets.
all right. Hey, we got a couple of phone calls for you before we go on that have come in over time wanting to ask you questions. Okay, you ready to take a couple questions?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oops, I know.
I've got a question for Big Joe. Hey, Big Joe, how come you had them big old titties cut off? Thank you.
Because it felt like I was carrying a cinder block around me.
Yeah. Really? Do you feel
I hate
better?
them. It takes an idiot to want something that big on them.
Well, okay. There are a lot of idiots out there. There are a lot of people
a lot
who would
of
have
them pay
traded with
for
you.
it, but I would have gave it to them
Isn't
free.
isn't that interesting that some people will pay for boobs that big and other people pay to get rid of them?
And I don't know how I got them because I was the only one in my whole family that ever had them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You have sisters? You don't have
No,
sisters.
I don't
huh?
have a sister.
Yeah. You had two brothers.
I hope they didn't have them.
They had some big old boobs. Well, all right. Here's
They was
another
big men, though.
here's
Big
another
dogs.
question for Big Joe.
Well, hello, Big Joe. I was just wondering if you put your maters out yet this year. 'Cause, well, with our maters, we eat what we can, and what we can't eat, we can. So, all right. Well, thank you. Bye.
So have you put your tomatoes out yet this year?
No, it's too early.
There you go. Exactly right. Very good. Okay.
Good answer.
All right. Well, let's get to the game. Are you guys ready for the game?
Oh, now, Liam,
So the way this is going to go.
don't make me look like an idiot.
So the way this will go is I'll ask the question. You both will write the answer down.
Can I look at yours?
No, you can't. No cheating.
No cheating. I'm watching.
Oh, you are?
And Lady Diagnosis is going to keep. So for 1 point, are you guys ready? You're going
Yeah.
to write this down. Don't cheat off each other.
Did you stretch?
No, just write it on a
Hope you
plain piece of
stretched.
paper. bro.
Oh, I drew all over this one.
You want me to show you how to write, honey?
I know, okay.
And don't look at each other. Then cover up your answer when you're done.
No cheating.
Okay, number 1. What is the name of the cheese generally used in making lasagna? What is the name of the cheese generally used in making lasagna?
Well, I use more than one.
Don't answer. Generally used.
The popular cheese in lasagna.
And then cover up your answer.
Liam, cover it up.
Put your dude.
What?
Just turn the phone off. Oh my God. Okay, you ready? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. Oops. I'm still figuring out the music. Okay, Liam, what was your answer?
I got raclette.
Raclette. Okay, we'll give you. Joanne, what'd you get?
I've got cottage cheese. I use a lot of cottage cheese, but it's
we'll
not. It's not.
That works.
We'll take cottage cheese. Let me see. Do I have?
I put 4 different kinds of cheeses in it, so it's.
Okay, I was looking for ricotta.
That's sort of figured you.
Oh my goodness,
So we flipped both. We both flipped.
What?
Okay, so that's 1 point for Joanne, 1 for Liam. We would have also taken retardo cheese. Okay, number 2, second question for 1 point. What is 8 times 8?
Ooh. We'll give him a little time on this one.
Well, now I know he'll beat me on that.
Are you ready? You guys ready?
I had to ask her something.
Okay, Liam, what did you get? Joanne, do you have an answer?
I got 48, so I knew he was going to win that. I'm not used to mathing alone. He asked me the questions like that all the time.
Did Liam get it right?
Yeah, Liam got it right.
Okay, so 1 point for Liam.
2 points for Liam. He got 1 the first time.
No, he said raclette.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, next one. What? Okay, now remember, write your answers down and then cover them up.
Oh.
What
well,
is?
I didn't look at his. Did you look at his?
Don't be cheating. What is the name? Okay, you ready? What is the name of the coffee drink sold at McDonald's? The name of the coffee drink sold at McDonald's.
I don't know how to spell it.
That's okay, as long as you can say it. Okay, cover up your answer. You ready? Liam, what did you get?
Frappe.
Ooh,
Is that right?
that is correct.
Bueno.
Joanne, what'd you get?
Well, I didn't know how to spell it, but that's what I put down too, flappe.
Flappe.
See,
Okay, very
I don't
good.
know how to say.
That's fine.
Don't know how to spell it or say it.
That'd be 1 for Liam and -1 for Joanne on that one.
Well,
That's all right.
How did you spell that, Joanne?
Now, are you getting in on this too?
I was just curious.
Now,
Mike, it's time to go home.
Lady Diagnosis is mean. She's very mean. All right, next question.
How do you spell it?
That was close.
What is the square root of 25? The square
Liam,
root of
quit cheating.
25. And you have to write them down, Joanne, because you could just say, yeah, that's the right answer. That's what I said. It's got to be written down.
I'm watching her.
You must show your work.
The square root
Well,
of
that's
25.
just a guess.
Okay, very good. You ready?
Quit cheating.
Liam, what is the square root of 25? Is what?
Oh.
Cinco.
All right, Joanne,
No, I'm not going to answer.
Can I tell you what?
No.
what's the square root of 25, Joanne? What'd you put? Okay. Okay, so
Hey, you're cheating.
so Lady Diagnosis, where are we with the score right
Liam
now?
won.
No, it's not.
3
We're
to
not done.
3 to 1.
3-1.
Liam is ahead.
Liam is ahead.
And you guaranteed
Just,
me I'd win.
shut up. Oh, now you just... Okay, whatever. Okay. The next one is a 25-point bonus question.
Ooh, bonus.
25-point bonus question. You ready? What is the best fertilizer for tomatoes?
Oh, that's a piece of
I don't know that.
Come on.
Yes, you do.
No, don't help
Hey.
him. You write your answer.
Oh.
Right the answer.
The best fertilizer for tomatoes.
Oh, I think I do know. My pen's not working.
Don't cover your answer, Joanne. He's going to cheat.
Oh.
You got it, Liam?
Huh?
All right. Liam, what was your answer?
I got poop.
Poop. Okay. Joanne, what was your answer?
I got cow shit.
There you go.
Oh, they answered the same thing. Okay.
Well, cow manure.
All right.
I knew it.
Okay,
See?
so that's
You have
25
been
points
paying attention
each.
to Nana.
Oh, I just did.
All right, fair enough.
Oh.
All right, okay, next question.
When you put
Is this
it
for
on.
100 points?
No.
Oh.
We'll get to the 100-point
Oh, what are we
question in a
doing over
minute.
there?
No, I'm not doing
All right,
Let's keep it down over there.
Liam and Big Joe. What is the name of the movie starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, who play agents who deal with extraterrestrial threats to the Earth? The name of the movie
No, that's
starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, who play agents who deal with extraterrestrial threats to the Earth. Don't cheat.
Oh, I knew it. It just went bloop.
It went bloop, Dr. Steve.
All right, we got it. Big Joe, are you ready?
No,
No? Okay.
because
well,
I knew it and it just went bloop.
We'll just write something down. You kind of know what it is. You ready?
I bet you know
Okay.
it, don't you, Liam?
Liam?
It's Men in Black.
Oh,
Men in Black.
well, I left off the man. I got Black Man 3. I was close.
Oh my God!
That's
Can
what I
she
was-
please have a point for that?
That was what I was hoping for.
Well, it was close.
I think that's a winner.
Black Man 3. That's perfect. Exactly what I was hoping
That's
for.
why they like.
Okay. All right.
I get it now.
Oh, you do?
Next question. What is the test called wherein a long fiber optic scope is inserted into the rectum to screen for colon cancer? The
I don't know how to
test.
spell it.
That's okay. Just write it down so phonetically. All right, we got it.
You want
Liam, what do you got?
I wrote colonoscopy.
Very good. What'd you get, John?
Colonoscopy.
What is it?
Now, colossus.
Okay, what is it?
It's what Liam said.
Okay. All right. So that's one for Liam, one for not one for Big Joe.
No.
She knew it.
She knew it.
Okay,
She
I
said.
just recently had one.
That's a point east. What I was looking for was Upyoscope. That was
Oh.
on Big Joe's the shit Big Joe says in my file. Joanne at one point called that an Upyoscope. All right.
Well,
Here's our, we only got 3 more questions. What is the name of the game often played at the beach where contestants...
I didn't hear that.
Okay, what is the name of the game often played at the beach where contestants try to roll balls closest to a smaller white ball?
Oh, I don't know the name of that. And I was the one who bought it.
Well, write down something. Starts with a B. Got it? You ready?
Well, I got something similar to it. I don't know the name of
All
it.
right,
I've got the game at the house.
Liam, what's it called?
I got bocce ball.
Bocce ball is correct. We'll take that.
I got Bluebee.
Wait, what did you get?
I thought it was going to be Bluebee ball, but... Now, this is why you... See,
No.
I told you would
No.
make a fool out of
No,
me, and
I'm-
you're doing it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because here's the next question. Are you ready? We've got 2 more questions.
You're doing good, Joe.
Yeah, right.
Bluebee ball.
Boy, you better be glad I love him.
I love Bluebee
Well, I
ball.
love you too. I think we ought to come up with a game called Bluebee ball.
Or, yeah, call it blue ball for short.
Yeah.
It is a fun
All right.
game if you've never played it.
I've never played.
They cheat.
They do cheat.
Yeah, they
Cheater.
cheat.
Yeah, I can see cheater.
I was looking for bunghole game
I had that written down.
because Joanne was at the beach and she was yelling, "Hey boys, do y'all want to play that bunghole game?" But I'll take Bluebee ball any day.
Bungo? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a winner.
One.
Yeah.
That is a winner.
All right. Okay, you ready?
No.
We got 2. We have 2 more questions. Joanne
No.
and Liam. What does the texting abbreviation LOL mean?
Oh,
What does LOL mean?
I think.
Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't watch
I'm not looking at him. I was looking at that light over.
Wow. All right, you ready?
Tell me
Joanne,
your
you got
answer,
it?
Liam.
Oh, I got it wrong. I know what it is.
Do you, go ahead. Write it down. I'll give you time. Joe, you got it?
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay.
'Cause he
Liam,
is-
what does
That
LOL
was
mean?
close.
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud. That is correct.
Yeah, I've got that too because he always makes fun of me about it.
Because what did you
Don't
think?
you, baby?
What?
I was looking.
What'd you
gotta
think
talk
before,
into the mic,
Joanne?
Liam.
What? Oh no, love.
Love.
That's why I'm having a. It took me forever to learn how to text.
All right.
No,
yes,
I'll be
because
honest about
Joanne,
that.
I
I don't
would
know
have
any
I would have
shortcuts.
accepted love and laugh,
That's
which
what
is
she
what
told me
Joanne once
before.
said that LOL.
Joanne's is lots of love.
Lots of love. All right, here we go. 25-point bonus. Where are we at the score right now?
0.
No.
Joe's 4.
Liam's got all of them.
8 for Liam.
But wait,
That's
they had a
just
25.
but they both got the 25 points.
Okay, so 25 plus 3 and 25 plus 7, whatever
yeah.
that is. So can you do the math
Yeah,
on that?
I'm on
'Cause
it.
we're going to need it here in a minute.
Yeah, because if he loses, I'm gonna lick him from head to toe.
No.
Ew. That's inappropriate.
No, it's not.
It's 28 to 32.
Okay, we're close.
Oh, Liam.
Now, Joanne,
You got him, Joe. You got it.
No licking. There's no licking.
here's a 25-point bonus question.
Oh God.
Name a brand of fabric softener.
What?
Name a brand of fabric softener.
Come on, Liam. Joanne, you might want to cover your answer.
I'm not.
Oh, I do.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, Liam, what'd you get?
I got tied.
Oh, no.
Wrong.
Joanne, what did you get?
I got Dowdy. That's because I know
Hell
how to
yeah.
wash clothes.
I was gonna put that first.
Tied is
I
what.
actually-
Tied is
actually
what
gonna
the.
put that. I know you clean clothes with me.
Well, what did I tell you they was doing with Tide not too long?
They were eating them.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the score right now?
53 to 32.
Oh,
Liam
man.
is losing.
Let's do
No.
let's do one more 25-pointer.
Can you feel the lick?
I mean, right now I can. I don't want to.
Now I love my babies. I love him and.
Hey, you know what? Let's call the game right there. I say
Yeah.
Joanne is the
Oh,
winner.
yeah.
Yeah, because he
Joanna
knows
won.
I'm not going to get the next question. So what
No.
was the next question?
Okay, all right. It's a
For the
challenge.
bonus.
It's a challenge.
Now I'll probably miss it, but
All right, no,
still
it's
get.
a challenge from Big Joe.
He's not going to show me up dumber than what I am.
Well, you're winning.
You're one.
You won. Okay.
Well, just because Downey.
25-point bonus question. Ready?
Yeah.
What's the best agent to clean a CPAP machine with?
Oh, now you told me I can't use them.
Oh, I think I know this one. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, what'd you get, Liam?
I got distilled water.
No, it's.
Oh. What,
Loser.
Joanne, what's the correct
Well,
answer?
now I was told to use water and ivory soap.
There you go. Or I would
See?
have also accepted vinegar.
Well, you fussed at me. Said, no wonder you cost so much.
Well, no, you can clean it with it. You put it in your water.
No,
That's
I
just
don't.
right.
I empty my water out. I put it in my cup, and then I rinse it out.
Okay, well, there you go, everybody. That's how you clean a CPAP machine. Good advice from Big Joe.
Sorry you're a loser, Liam.
I can't believe
Liam,
Now see what he's saying
Liam,
about me?
it's very clear.
And you wanted to lick him head to
And
toe.
he gets it so honestly,
It's
don't he?
very clear, Liam. You are not smarter than Big Joe.
No, you're not.
And you know what? You know what, dude? The moral of the story:
Age has something to do with
life
it.
ain't fair. The adults will always win. Now go clean your room.
There you go.
All right. That's been Are You Smarter Than Big Joe by Audience
Now that's
Demand.
life. Let's have a good life out of this.
Thank you, Big Joe. The winner, she's undefeated in this game.
That'd be funny if she lost her own show.
I know.
Huh? Oh, well, no, it wouldn't have been funny. It'd been
All right,
different.
get out of here, Liam.
See you, Liam.
Thank you, Joe.
Congratulations, Joe.
Hey, Joe. I'm going to stay away from yours.
You want to show everybody your shingles?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Good job.
Good job, Joe.
That's perfect.
I wish I could have read her answers.
Oh,
to
he
you.
was doomed from the. Oh, really? What did she do with them?
She crossed them out.
Scratched them out so you couldn't see them.
All right, Mike, you're gonna get back in here. All right. Obviously, we did zero prep for this.
Yes.
But, Mike, Magic Mike, how you doing out there? Or El Crappo, I mean.
Bring El Crappo in for the
He went to
for the finale.
El Crappo went to the bathroom? So, Mike, you haven't said 2 words this whole show.
Well, that first guest we had, that kind of dampened everything for me.
Did that mess it up for you?
Jesus Christ, I swear I couldn't believe it.
I know, that was sick.
Can you hear the guitar?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. I'm gonna. And then what we'll do, Mike, is we'll have you play us out at the end when I read the.
Okay.
Is everything? Huh?
Play that.
Oh yeah. No, I'm good.
Play that
thank you.
blues in G. Play that on blues. Or blues in E.
Does he want me to do that or something soft while he talks?
Thank you. Do what?
How was the black cherry?
Play the blues in G.
Oh,
first.
what did you have?
Then we'll
It's not as good as the.
Then we'll just tone it down.
Here,
a little
Tace.
bit. Just play a couple bars.
Tracy, you want me to come with you?
I'll have another one of
I'll
those.
do whatever. I didn't know if I needed.
Oh, you're not gonna hang with us while we play?
I have to get drinks.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Priorities.
Anybody else need beer? Beer for you?
My beer's sitting
All right, here we go.
on the floor beside my case. No, this thing is fine.
You ready?
Oh yeah.
Want to do it?
Let's do it.
Let me get off this sound slate. Okay. You gonna stand or you gonna sit?
Well, usually place. Usually place. Oh no.
No.
Usually place.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Totally fine. Let's hear you, Scott. You might need to bring that mic a little closer to you because when you sing, you're gonna be slightly closer because I'm trying to mix you just by spatial stuff.
Okay. How about there?
That's good.
I lit out from Reno.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I lit out from Reno. I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep last night till the morning came around. Said I'm gonna take my time off and never friend of mine. You know, 40 line out just like it's tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me
and Cheeto, baby, warm and cherry. First one says she's got my child, it don't look like me. Said I'm gonna go take my time off, baby, friend of mine. I get home before the line, just to get some sleep tonight.
Do it again.
Got two reasons why I cry, wait slowly down. First was days sweet and me, she's my heart's delight. Second one is present, baby, shares some of my dreams. And if it catches up with me, I'll spend my life in got a wife and Cheeto, baby, warm and cherry. First one says she's got my child, it don't look like me. Said I'm gonna take my time off, and a friend of mine. I get home before the night, I just might get some sleep tonight.
Yeah, I fucked up when it came out of the solo. Sorry. My fault. I'll give myself one of these. All right. You want to play us out, Magic Mike?
You want to play something soft? You want to do?
Yeah, let's play something. I'll read. Start that thing that we were doing. You know, you want to do the blues in G? Thanks always go to Dr. Scott, Magic Mike, G-Spot, Lady Diagnosis, my wife Tacey, and El Crappo. Can't forget Rob Sprance, Bob Kelly, Greg Hughes, Anthony Cumia, Ron Bennington, and Fez Watley, whose steadfast support of this show never goes unappreciated. Listen to our SiriusXM show on the Faction Talk channel. SiriusXM channel 103, Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, on demand, and other times at Don Wickland's pleasure. Many thanks go to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules and podcasts and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps, quit smoking, get off your asses, and get some exercise. And we'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine.
There you go. Oh. It's so nice having you.